Welcome back. Over the past 12 devotions, we've been considering the fact that it was Yahweh who initiated this privilege that we have of communicating with Him. We have been recently considering God's fellowship with Abraham. Today, I'd like to consider this relationship one more time from Genesis chapter 24. Now, Abraham was old, well advanced in age, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in all things. So Abraham said to the oldest servant of his house, who ruled over all that he had, "Please put your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by Yahweh, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. But you shall go to my country and to my family, and take a wife for my son Isaac." Then the servant said to him, "Perhaps the woman will not be willing to follow me to this land. Must I take your son back to the land from which you came?" But Abraham said to him, "Beware that you do not take my son back there. Yahweh, God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my family, and who spoke to me and swore to me, saying, 'To your descendants I give this land,' He will send His angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. And if the woman is not willing to follow you, then you will be released from this oath. Only do not take my son back there." So the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swore to him concerning this matter. Then the servant took 10 of his master's camels and departed, for all his master's goods were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, to the city of Nahor. And he made his camels kneel down outside the city by a well of water at evening time, the time when women go out to draw water. Then he said, "O Yahweh, God of my master Abraham, please give me success this day, and show kindness to my master Abraham. Behold, here I stand by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city are coming out to draw water. Now let it be that the young woman to whom I say, 'Please let down your pitcher that I may drink,' and she says, 'Drink, and I will give also to your camels a drink,' let her be the one you have appointed for your servant Isaac. And by this I will know that you have shown kindness to my master." And it happened, before he had finished speaking, that behold, Rebekah, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with her pitcher on her shoulder. Consider the faith of Abraham's servant. Now, this might have been Eleazar of Damascus, but we're not told. But what we are told is that this servant, whoever he is, has seen the realness of the relationship between Yahweh and his master Abraham. And as he goes to get this wife for Isaac, to fulfill this promise that he made to Abraham, that when he is there at the well, that he calls on the name of Yahweh, that he recognizes the realness of Yahweh. He recognizes the power and the intimacy of Yahweh, in that he knows that he himself can go directly to Yahweh on his own and call upon the name of Yahweh. And not only does he call upon the name of Yahweh, but he calls upon the chesed of Yahweh. We have discussed this Hebrew word chesed numerous times. It means faithful, loving kindness. And so he declares in verse 12, he says, "O Yahweh, God of my master Abraham, please give me success this day and show kindness, show chesed to my master Abraham." And Yahweh, before the words are completely out of his mouth, while they are yet on his tongue, Yahweh is already answering the thoughts of his heart, the desires of his heart. We have seen in the past that if you delight yourself in the Lord, that he will give you the desires of the heart. If you delight yourself in Yahweh, he will give you the desires of your heart. Even for one who was praying, if you would, by extension. How marvelous is the grace of our God. And he answered the prayer specifically to the detail of which the servant would ask. Our God delights in answering our prayers. Do you remember when we shared from 1 John chapter 5, if you ask anything according to his will, then you know that he hears. And if you know that he hears, then you know that you're going to receive that which you have asked. God delights in answering our prayer. But he answers when we ask according to his will, not necessarily ours. And it was his will for Abraham to get a wife for Isaac from amongst his own relations, not to be tainted by those of the Canaanites. Do you take the time each day to read God's word, to study it, to learn from it, to be able to discern rightly the will of God? We've talked about this in the past. In order that you might pray according to his will, according to his purpose, in order that you might say, like Abraham said to his servant, Yahweh will send his angel before you, and he will accomplish this thing. But if he doesn't, I'll release you from this oath. Because Abraham had confidence that God would do what God had declared. Do you have the confidence that God will do what God has declared? Pray, believing, knowing that God will answer those prayers that are asked according to his will in his time. And have a blessed day.